Now we have Jim. Introduce yourselves, because unfortunately I haven't run with either one of you. So it's a different environment for you and I. So introduce yourself and I'll tell you about me, and then let's kick this thing off and have some fun for a couple hours.
Let's do it.
Good.
Don, I did see you this morning, so I got to know you a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Very impressive. So I'm glad you're a part of our team right now. Yes, you are the running expert, so we'll rely on you for that. We've got some great people coming in. But first of all, I am Jim Stewart. I'm sitting in for Justin Wren, founder of Fight for the Forgotten. And I'm the director of Fight for the Forgotten. I've been with him for about 8 years. And we have just now brought on board one of the best traveling teams that goes into schools, public schools mostly, to do excellent assemblies that touch the hearts of kids and really meet them where they need to be met right now with all the trauma that's going on in their lives. So I want Jordan Miller, founder of Generation Y, to just share a little bit about that before he goes to, has a gig later on tonight.
How's it going?
Good to meet you, Jordan. And the only reason they asked me back from this morning is I didn't get it right. So they're asking me to come back. So do your best so you don't have to come back and do a second round like I had to.
Yeah, you're good, man. So yeah, my name is Jordan Miller. I'm a founder of Generation Y, WHY. We've been in organization for about 3 years now. And so we've been traveling all over the US, going into public schools, talking about anti-bullying and suicide prevention. So the name actually came from Oklahoma. We're out of Oklahoma. And so 3 years ago, Oklahoma went from 32nd to one of the third leading states in suicide rate, ranging from the ages of 12 to 26. And so something that we noticed with these students is that they really lack a sense of purpose, a sense of identity, and ultimately a why and a purpose. And so that's why we wanted to go into the schools head first. So I have a whole lot of talented friends. We have hip hop artists, rappers, dancers, spoken word artists. And so a really cool thing, we did an event, the Wi-Fi night, and had Zach come through as a guest speaker.
And I see Nicole there too.
They were killing it. And we got to interview them and everything. But with Generation Y, we go in, changing the whole atmosphere for the student. And so it's not just somebody coming in and talking for 45 minutes to an hour and boring a student to death, but we're going in and creating an atmosphere for these students to be open and to be transparent with the things that they're going through. And so with that, we set up a whole thing. We have our lights, we have our speakers and sound system, and our projector screens and fog machines and everything, just so like the student walks in, not just to a normal gym, not just to a normal auditorium, but they come into a full experience. And so like from the jump of them walking into the doors, they know that, you know, we put a little more effort into this production. And so we have loud music playing. A lot of teachers probably are annoyed by it, but students love it. And so, but between the arts and everything that we do, we break it down with talking points, and we're able to speak on the things that students are dealing with right now. And so we're able to—
Jordan, I'm just going to interrupt for a second because they wanted me to announce we're switching to a YouTube channel, and there's some information here on our screen, so those that are listening or paying attention can follow along.
It really started with Justin Wren, MMA fighter. He started out his career in high school. He was a two-time national champion wrestler in high school. Went on to Iowa to get into the Olympic trials, broke his arm and knocked him out of Olympics. And it took him about 6 months to heal up, get a surgery for that. And his whole life story is all about success and addiction and all kinds of things. And he was bullied as a child, a young man in school, to the point of depression and attempted suicide. So that's why we meet hearts with this guy. So we're touching the hearts of these kids around the nation, especially right now when it's so bad. The trauma is to the point of suicides and depression is rampant, running at this, just the scale it's going up. So
And it sounds like to me that that really is something invisible to a lot of us. We're walking around, it's happening in a neighbor's home. We don't know it. It's well disguised. You can put on a happy face, but when you close that door or your own personal bedroom door and get in your own head, there can be some chaos that happens there.
And you know, Jordan has stories of kids coming up after their assembly with a suicide note and handing it to them and saying, because of you guys, I'm going to be here tomorrow.
Wow. And so if somebody's thinking about donating, this is a worthy cause and a life-saving cause. And it could be something that benefits someone next to you, maybe a family member or a friend, because it's everywhere and silent.
Yep. 28% of the kids in every school all over the country are fighting a debilitating depression that keeps them out of school because of bullying. 14% of those kids have thought about suicide, and 7% have attempted suicide. 7 out of 100 of our kids.
Wow, that's an incredible number. And there's a lot of underlying things with that too. There's a lot of different levels that go through that. It doesn't have to be someone that has a note, but there's a lot of depression that may lead up to that you can interrupt before it starts.
Absolutely. We have a great story with when Nicole and Zach came to Oklahoma City, came to a high school of 2,500. Finished out that week with a big assembly with all 2,500 kids. And there was a high school senior that walked out that after he experienced everything that we did, he walked out and said, I need to tell you the story. And he attempted a 70-mile-an-hour head-on collision driving into an embankment and walked away from it. And the powerful part of that was he asked every student in that entire gym a few questions, and they said, oh, what were some of those questions?
Yeah, I mean, there were some that were saying, like, if you've ever dealt with depression and kept it quiet to yourself, raise your phone. And they were holding their lights on their phones up. And then there's just so many people that you never thought were dealing with the same thing that you are. You see, across the gym, there's at least 200 to 300 students doing the same thing or dealing with the same thing. And so
I'm sorry, Jordan. So I'm trying to imagine this. I see it was probably dark in that gymnasium, so you couldn't see who did it.
Yeah.
Wow. Their lights.
Yeah, they turned off all the lights, and then they went through a series of questions. They did depression. They did if you thought about suicide or anything like that.
Have you seen bullying?
Yeah.
One of those. So it got to where there were all serious questions, but at the end of about 5 questions, every light was lit.
Right. Yeah.
So
and the gym was bright.
Yep.
That's powerful. And for you as a facilitator, you can't trade money for those types of emotional experiences or rides. That has got to be very, very rewarding.
Yeah.
So that's Jordan's part of the fight for the forgotten.
Yep.
He's got to go.
Yes.
But we're going to bring on some more guests.
Yes.
And then in the 2 hours, we're going to talk about a lot of what Justin Wren, his experience in the Congo, living with pygmies, and what we've done since then. And it's just a powerful story, and it really boils down to the bullied everywhere.
Fantastic. We see our lineup coming up here. Can you see that as well, Jim?
Yep.
And Jordan, before you go, I want to thank you for coming on and sharing that powerful message and that story. You're well-spoken, and you brought imagery with you that could say more than words even, because we could all picture in our mind these lights lighting up the inside of this dark gymnasium And I imagine the culture in that school tightened up a little bit after that happened. I'll bet you there was a tighter community and a willingness to help and reach out and more love that happened. So good for you, Jordan. Well done. And I'm sure you're probably running off to do something equally as important.
Well,
Yes, sir. I
actually,
appreciate
he is a spoken word artist. And
Oh,
he's in demand, and I think he's doing something for a wedding tonight.
Yeah.
So
So I appreciate it.
he's getting married. Well, congratulations on tying the knot there, Jordan.
no, he's just the entertainment.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see you though. Thank you so much for having us on, man.
You got it. See you, Jordan Miller.